Hello everybody, it has at long last happened. I have been conned. Knowing my weakness for JDM minivans, Jamie got in touch and said, James, you've tried the Alphard, you've tried the L Grand, you've even tried the Odyssey. Why don't you try my Japanese Toyota Estima? And I thought, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But when it came to doing my research, I found out that this has gone by another name when they sold it in Britain. This is a Toyota Previa. Dear oh dear. And to many people there are few vehicles less cool than a Toyota Previa. But still, I'm here now, and I think it certainly deserves a chance. Alright, jesting over, you know what, I actually have a real soft spot for the Previa, because a long time ago now, I actually got given one for free to take on a European cheap car trip, known as the Scrappage Rally, which I actually at that point ran. It was given to me by the chap who had previously run this event, and I was told that it would need a little bit of work, but not too much. To get it through its MOT, I think I spent about £150 on it. And the first gen Previa is quite an odd duck, because though at first glance it looks like your ordinary average MPV, and from inside it feels very much the same way, it is in fact, because of its underpinnings, a mid-engined rear-wheel drive car. Yeah. Now, those Previas have more or less all but disappeared from the roads of Britain, chiefly on account of the fact that they do like to corrode, and they were the sort of car that nobody ever really took good care of. But it still, more or less, mostly worked, even after near 2 decades of abuse. I was very, very impressed by it. In fact, I slept in the back of the thing with a mate. The two of us could sleep in the back of it, not in the biblical sense, and still have plenty of space. It was a rather marvellous thing. That car then had a second generation, which was also sold here, but this third generation, introduced in 2006, was never offered to the European customer. In certain parts of the world, the Previa nameplate did carry on, but I believe the major customers for this were then the Japanese home market and also the Australians, where it was known instead as the Toyota Tarago, or to put it more accurately, the Toyota Tarago. Sorry, my Australian fans, I couldn't resist. Anyway, this is a loose relative of the Alphard of the day. It is slightly smaller, but still comes with the same engine offerings. So you could have a 2.4 litre naturally aspirated 4-cylinder petrol. You could then also have the same engine, but with a hybrid, as we have here, which also gives it all-wheel drive. And for the more performance or luxury-orientated customer, they also offered the venerable 3.5 litre V6. An engine which saw service in just about everything from the Auris to the Crown. I also happen to think this is a darn good looking thing. No, like any MPV, it is never going to win a beauty contest, but it does look a bit like a scaled up Civic EP3. It also isn't quite as ludicrously Japanese as the Alphard, particularly some of its sportier offshoots like the Velfire. Though it is a little smaller than the likes of the Alphard or the L Grand, it's still a relatively practical thing, and it is for practical reasons that Jamie went looking for one of these, because he requires a vehicle that has space for a mobility scooter in it. Previously, he had a Renault Grand Scenic, but when that let him down in rather spectacular fashion, he had to find a replacement for it fairly quickly, and so went on the hunt for an MPV, of which here in Europe we don't really make that many anymore. So very quickly he turned to Japan and looked at all of his options before settling on the Estima. This one is a 2014 model, and I think the second of 3 facelifts that the car had during its life, being first introduced in 2006 and finally discontinued in 2019. Mercifully, unlike a lot of the scene vans, this is also running on regular, ordinary-looking alloy wheels, which completes, I think, the sort of stealthy but handsome look that it's going for. I also appreciate the fact that they have preserved the sleek look of the side by hiding the rails necessary for the sliding doors, which you get on both sides of this car, by tucking them just between the body and the windows at the back. Very, very nice touch, that Toyota. The rear tailgate is also powered, and with the car in 5-seater configuration as we have it here, you have got a ludicrous amount of boot space. He got it from a place called M. Tarek & Sons, specialist in this sort of thing. They're based down in Waltham Abbey, and he said he had a very, very good experience. And that is good to hear, because I don't know why exactly it is, but a lot of the people that do specialise in these don't seem to have the greatest of reputations. Very often they're on shady industrial estates, and when you do go there, as I have a number of times, you very quickly see a lot of cars in need of a lot of help that are nowhere near as good as you were promised that they were. Although it is generally true that cars coming over from Japan are in better condition than ones here, it isn't universally applicable. They do have bad cars too, you know. But mercifully, this does not seem to be one of them. And though it hasn't got all of the leather or the wood that I'd want from a high-end Alphard or the posh captain's chairs in the back, that was by design. Jamie wanted something that was nice, easy to use, easy to get in, but most importantly, versatile. And so with this, you can run it either as a 2-row 5-seater, which it's currently set up as, or as a 3-row 7-seater. You can then, even if you want, remove the second row entirely and treat it as a van. With the added bonus being, if you do take it on a tip run, you're not going to be turned away for being a commercial vehicle. You've also got a reversing camera too to help you with parking. You have a little pair of mirrors over there just below the main one, in lieu of the old-fashioned one that they would have on the corner of these things. This car has had its infotainment replaced with an Extron system, meaning it's now all in English and has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay functionality, which is nice. And in fact, were it not for the odd bit of Japanese that's still remaining here and there, you wouldn't really know this was an import at all. And in spite of the fact it's an inherently already generous car for storage, Toyota have not missed a trick. There are cup holders in the thing from front to rear. Even those in the back seats have got at least a pair on each side. Likewise, there are also vents for the dual zone climate control just about everywhere that you can imagine. And up front, the car even has 3 glove boxes. Yeah, eat your heart out, Range Rover. You've got your traditional one, where you would expect it, ahead of the passenger's knees. Then you have another above it on the dash. And I've even got one here, which is nice, in which you will find the integrated Japanese toll tag reader. And there is a fairly shallow centre storage area here too, but honestly, with all of what I've already mentioned, you don't really need that much more. The car even still has its original Japanese roadside flare. And in keeping with the JDM theme, indicator stalks on the right too, which I think is where they should be. On the centre console down here, you then have physical controls for that aircon. You've got a nice big traditional gear lever for the box. There is a sport mode, though honestly, doesn't really do all that much other than make a lot more noise when you put your foot down. As with all Toyota and Lexus hybrids, the gearbox here is their sensationally clever eCVT, which, though yes, I know is not really technically a CVT at all, well, they call it that and it does feel a little bit like that, but you know what? It works. And its party piece, really, its raison d'etre, is just how seamlessly it combines the combustion engine with the electric motors. It's really a fabulous thing. And though it's not super economical, it will still get at least 30 mpg, which when you consider this is a 2 and a bit ton shed, that's not actually all that bad. The steering has a little bit of weighting to it, an element of feel and feedback, but none of those in great quantity, and that's absolutely fine. It's what you'd expect for a car in this category. The brakes are happily reasonably servoed. They're light but progressive, nice, easy to modulate, important when you want to deliver a luxury experience for your passengers. So then what don't I like? Well, it's mostly a matter of specification really. I prefer a leather interior and where possible a lighter one. I also prefer the more luxurious 2 individual captain's chairs that you can get in the middle of these, and they are an option, but Jamie specifically wanted a bench. The seats do also feel a little firmer than I would like, and I remember some others feeling. Maybe that's just a quirk of this particular car, I couldn't say, but it does seem worth mentioning. I would also like a sunroof, apparently also an option, but simply one that this car does not have. And overall, it does feel to me like this is a car that is a step down from the Alphard, but the idea was, of course, that it was a cheaper car to buy. Everywhere you look, you will still find nice little touches, including the little mirror up here for keeping an eye on those pesky passengers you've got in the back. This still feels like a perfectly decent place to be. The turning circle also is excellent. Let's try it. Oh yeah, this is fantastic. Really good. And let's test the car's sporting credentials, shall we? They're forgeries. Yeah, does it surprise you? This is not exactly a particularly dynamic car. It is, though, comfortable, but going down a road like this, being hoofed around a bend, that is not its natural state. Certainly not its happy place. You very quickly find the limit of those tyres and the whole engine gearbox combo. Well, it is not really particularly sporty. I'm just making lots and lots of noise here and not much more forward progress. But that's okay. That's fine. That is not this car's purpose in life. That is for it to be versatile, practical, and dependable transport for a family that have specific needs. And of course, as with any family, day to day, those needs will change. So sometimes there'll be a mobility scooter in a bag, sometimes there'll be a mountain bike, sometimes there'll be a whole pack of kids. And in every scenario, the Estima has what Jamie needs. More than that, in spite of the fact it's 10 years old, it's still a Toyota. There are no creaks, there are no rattles in here, everything just works. And of course, many of the best things that I can say about this car are applicable to everything in the MPV category. It's an excellent use of space. It's not really that big a car, and yet it can seat 5, 6, or even 7 people in relative comfort with a varying amount of luggage space. It can be an airport run car, school run car, or simply a way for a few of the lads to go into town, and it will do all of that absolutely fine. In fact, my only real disappointment is that this little TV up here no longer works on account of the new Extron system. Apparently it was possible to make it work, but for an awful lot more money, and as children can never ever decide on what to watch, he figured he would save some money and save that argument. I've got to go into London later today, and I know having something like this would be the absolute perfect way to go, because it's nice, it's compact, yet it's still fairly comfortable. If you get a differently spec'd one, very luxurious too, but even this rides pretty well. And of course, when you get to your destination, if you need to get someone out of the car quick, pull over, put it in park, open the door, and there you go. How easy is that? And then, because of those nice sliding doors, when you get back to the car, you'll be able to get your mates in the back, even if somebody has parked annoyingly close to you. And even better, it will take a little bit of faffery, but you should also be able to get this car ULEZ compliant too. It is inherently compatible, but because it's an import, not automatically so. And you know what, though hybrids in a great many ways are fairly flawed, Toyota have been doing it for quite some time now, and I think they've got the formula as right as anybody else. And when you are around town at low speeds and the electric motor is doing all the work for you, it's a very nice, calm and serene place to be. But if you've got to go to Scotland in one hit, you can fill the tank up and get gone. And if you need to stop, you don't have to wait all that long. Oh, and just in case you were wondering, this is one of Toyota's self-charging hybrids. In other words, it's not a plug-in. finally, what are you going to pay for this slice of Japanese magnificence? Well, that's actually a fairly tricky question to answer, partly due to the fact that many of the dealers advertising these on AutoTrader are a little bit disingenuous as to how old the cars were. Remember I warned you about the dealers of these? Yeah, there's a reason. A lot of them are using the date the car was imported to sell it rather than the date that it was actually built. So you'll often see a 2008 listed as a 2022, even though you just look at the number plate and you can see that is not the case. Regardless, prices seem to start for this generation at around about the £5,000 mark, going up to the £25,000 mark. I personally would try and seek out one of these slightly later, better looking ones. This car also isn't on particularly high mileage, just over 51,000, and I believe that is miles, not KMs. Lots of them are on well over 100,000 or 150,000, and though they will take it, very often they will have worn in the ways that you would expect a car with big mileage to have done, especially one that is going to be used primarily for family duty and the like. I also would give preference to a car that's maybe been here not all that long, because that means it won't have suffered too many British winters. And so you can get under it, seal it, protect it, and do all the things that you would want to do. Happily, there are plenty of specialists out there for these, so maintaining them, getting parts and everything isn't all that difficult, and it's a Toyota, so it should be fairly dependable. My choice, I think, would still be for the Alphard. That is where my heart lies, but for somebody that doesn't quite need that size of car or the features that it offers, the Estima is a darn good choice. And really, the only mystery here is one that Jamie said to me. Why, oh why, didn't they sell this here? I think the answer is sadly predictable, because brilliant though it might have been, people decided they'd rather buy an SUV, a bigger car with less space inside, just because it's fancier. This is four-wheel drive. This sits you high, but it has more seats and a better sized boot. Well, you can't cure stupid, but you can hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below. Tell me, would you have one of these? And is there another mega minivan that I've been missing out on and I need to review? Let me know. Anyway, I want to say a big thank you to Jamie for bringing this out, and as ever, I'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.